Good morning, everyone. Thanks very much for joining us. My name is Jerry Friedman. I am with Time Data Systems. Today, we're going to be discussing our advanced scheduling functionality that is available to users of Attendance on Demand. Before we start getting into the details of the solution, I'd like to give you a little bit of background on Time Data Systems. We are a full human capital management provider, though our primary topic today is going to be, of course, advanced scheduling and the associated timekeeping functionality. I'd like to remind the attendees that we, in addition to that, provide a full HCM solution, including applicant tracking, electronic onboarding, benefits administration, payroll processing, human resources, and assistance with tax and regulatory compliance. One of our newest features that we have added to our solution is Pay on Demand, which is a cost-free solution that allows your employees to get daily pay advances against their hours worked with no cost to employees or employers. And we're certainly happy to provide additional information on that to you in future meetings. Another powerful function that we offer in our complete solution is assistance in filing and accumulating work opportunity tax credits. There are literally tens of thousands of dollars available to employers every year if they properly file and track the worked opportunity tax credits. And we provide full filing and tracking capabilities in this area. And finally, I want to remind the attendees that we do provide E-Verify in states where it is required, so that, again, we can assist you in compliance in that area. As I mentioned, today's main topic is going to be advanced scheduling. And advanced scheduling is a powerful solution that allows you to schedule the employees you need when you need them. And it allows the schedule to either automatically or to provide schedulers with the ability to select employees by availability, qualification, location, rating, and cost. Advanced scheduling also allows you to use your formulas for determining labor needs. We can tie in with your back of house reservation system and bring information in regarding check-ins, check-outs, occupancy, and specific events to allow you to schedule against those. We allow you to define ongoing needs for each position on your property and to schedule against those. So we can create the appropriate formulas for your housekeeping needs, for your catering needs, for front desk, back of house, etc. And advanced scheduling will empower your workforce by publishing schedules to our digital shift board where employees can see shifts available for pickup, drop, or swap, and according to your rules, take advantage of those capabilities. Advanced scheduling will also enhance communications with instant notifications and messages among employees and managers. And advanced scheduling will allow you to choose the right combination of employees, qualifications, certifications, ratings, and skills to schedules. Advanced scheduling is going to allow you to stay on top of last-minute changes, respond swiftly and efficiently via mobile applications, and quickly find the best available replacements for absent workers. So let's start by taking a look at the occupancy planning screen that allows you to either enter or bring in via API or import information on your daily arrivals, departures, starting and ending occupancy. This is going to allow you to plan for the needs based on actual guest counts, room counts, and so on. Essential, of course, to appropriately scheduling housekeeping personnel. Once we've created the criteria for scheduling, we give you the ability to create schedules as far in advance as you need to. Schedules are going to exist in 3 phases in the scheduling module. Schedules can be in the composing phase, which means it's owned by the scheduler and no one else sees it. The schedule can be posted for review, which means managers and employees can access it for any combination of reviewing, picking up, dropping, or trading schedules as permitted by management. And then, of course, a schedule goes live, and that's the schedule that is currently being worked based on your scheduling cycle, as well as tying in with your payroll cycle, though they can be independent of each other. Schedules can be sorted by department, position, and other metrics, and scheduled shifts that are over or under scheduled will be highlighted so that schedulers can quickly select them and address the requirements of that particular shift for that particular group of employees. Schedules can also be geotagged. The advantage to this is that schedulers can filter employees by distance from an event or work site. This is also a extremely beneficial feature if you have multiple locations, and if you're calling in employees to cover a particular shift, and getting someone here quickly is essential. Obviously, putting out the call to employees that are 30, 40, 50 miles away is not a practical solution. You can drill down on the details of any particular schedule or any particular group of schedules by department, by position, and so on. And based on your requirements, schedules can be shown as rosters or as Gantt charts. So here's an example showing front desk coverage for a particular day in a Gantt chart so that we know who's scheduled on which shift and, of course, where the overlap is for handoff. We can also display schedules as rosters, which allow managers to see who's working on a particular day. We can use colors to code whether they are transfers, whether they are working in their home department, whether they are pickups or drops. We can see down at the bottom, number of shifts scheduled, number of hours scheduled, number of non-worked hours scheduled, all made available to managers quickly and easily through the roster scheduling screen. When we note that a schedule is understaffed, we have the ability to initiate a call out and send communications to employees either as text or notifications within the mobile application that will allow employees to indicate whether they're interested in picking up a shift or not. Employee polling will allow managers to see how many employees reached the, met the criteria of the shift that needs to be covered, and that will, who responded yes and who responded no to picking up the shift. The responding employees will appear on a list on the right-hand side of the screen. The scheduler can assign the selected employee who they wish to pick up the shift, and then the shift, once the shift is covered, the call out will be closed and a follow-up communication will be sent to each employee, letting them know that the shift has been filled. An essential component of any scheduling system is the employee experience. With our employee, the employee experience with Attendance on Demand's advanced scheduling allows the employee to interact simply, comprehensively, and easily through their mobile device to allow them to clock in and out if desired, check schedules, drop, pick up, schedules, drop a schedule, pick up a schedule, trade schedules, or request time off. Now, you may or may not choose to allow employees to perform all these functions. These can be set up with different rules for different groups of employees. So who's allowed to drop or pick up a schedule or trade a schedule is determined by management. And we can take into account things like, is it overtime neutral? Is the employee qualified to cover the schedule that they want to trade for or pick up? And we can also, of course, put in time restrictions that prohibit employees from dropping a schedule more than a certain period of time prior to that schedule start or stop time, so that they can't just drop a schedule remotely. The employee must actually call in some cases. So when an employee once the employee installs the application on their personal device, and of course this application is available both in the Google Play Store and in the Apple App Store, the employee will log in. They can log in either in the mobile device or on the desktop. And if desired, employees can be allowed to clock in and out on the desktop or on the mobile app. If you choose to allow employees to clock on the mobile app or the desktop, on the mobile app, we can use geofencing so that the punch option only is available if they are physically present at the work site. And with IP filtering, we can prohibit employees from accessing the punch feature unless they are at a workstation that is at an authorized location based on the IP address. We also support a full range of employee time clocks. We allow employees, we can require employees to clock in and out either with a badge, PIN entry, or a biometric device. Our biometric devices include fingerprint readers, facial recognition, as well as iris scan. When an employee clocks in and out, no matter which method they use, that information is available immediately in real time to the employee through the mobile app, through the desktop, or through the review features on the various time clock devices that can be wall mounted. In this case, the employee can see their in-punch recorded in real time, and they can also see that they are tardy. Employees, through the mobile application, can review open schedules. Schedules can be filtered by day and date, by position, location, and/or distance from home. Available shifts can include shifts offered for trade by other employees, drops by other employees, or absences. Employees can also filter by their availability. Employees can personalize their experience in the application by defining their availability in alignment with their child care and/or class schedules if they're students. The system also has compliance with fair scheduling requirements that are going into effect around the country, which produce requirements in terms of how far in advance schedule changes can be made, how far in advance schedules must be posted, and allowing if employees agree to take a schedule after those windows are closed, that they're doing it voluntarily in compliance with fair scheduling requirements. Employees may also request time off through the application. They can do this by highlighting the days they wish to take, selecting the type of non-worked hours they wish to take, and these of course will vary by organization and category of employee within the organization. The system will display the number of available non-worked hours that are available to the employee when they are making the request, and of course we can prohibit employees from going negative in this. Managers are notified in real time of the employee's request. Those notifications can be made through the dashboard on the desktop, through the mobile application in real time to the employee's mobile device, their tablet or their phone. I'm sorry, the manager's tablet or phone. And what this does, it allows managers to address scheduling, HR, and other types of requests and needs in real time without being tied to their desk. So a food and beverage manager, a floor manager, a housekeeping manager can address these concerns while they're moving around the property and making themselves available to their employees and not being tied to their desk. When approving leave requests, managers have all the required information they need to make the decision, including if other employees are already scheduled off that day, assuring that the employee has the available time and that there are no other reasons for denying the request. Once the request is approved or denied, the employee is notified in real time. Managers will also have the ability to seek replacement employees through the scheduling capability, the advanced scheduling capabilities of the system, so that if an employee calls in sick and the sick time is approved, the manager can immediately go into a seek employee mode, which will provide the manager with a list of employees that are eligible to replace the sick employee, again, based on their availability, based on their location, based on their qualifications, and based on their requests. Now, we can escalate searches and send out messages to employees that normally are not available. You know, if an employee says, I normally don't want to work on Tuesday afternoons, but we have a need on Tuesday afternoon, we can escalate the search and send that message to that employee anyways, giving them the opportunity to pick up the shift. We can also give the employee let employees know that overtime is authorized for this shift because the need is that significant. Again, once the leave request is approved, the employee is notified in real time. And one of the other benefits of the communication features of Attendance on Demand is that employees can select how they want to be communicated with through the system. They can receive SMS text messages, they can receive emails, they can receive in-app notifications, they can receive literal voicemails that will, computer-generated voicemails that will leave them messages. In all cases, employees can select which of these communication messages methods they want to participate in, and they can select any or all of them. When picking up open shifts, employees, of course, can review their selections prior to submitting the selections for approval. And again, what employees are allowed to do with and without approval are, of course, going to be defined by your organization. You can, for example, if a trade, a pickup, or a swap is overtime neutral, you may allow it to go ahead without prior approval from a supervisor, but just notifications to supervisors. Or we can say that all trades must be approved by the supervisor. Once an employee requests to pick up a shift, an orange medallion will appear on the manager's scheduling dashboard that will indicate that there are pending pickups for the scheduler. The employer can open the schedule with the orange medallions, and again, it will display the details of who is trying to pick it up and what shifts we're referring to. And the manager has the choice of just approving it or showing the details. If they show the details, it will, on the right, show the scheduler who the employee is and which shifts they are trying to pick up. And of course, they can then approve or deny any or all of the requests. Once the approved schedule once approved, the schedule is automatically updated to reflect the pickup. And as you can see, Luke Amherst has been added to the 7:30 to 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. room attendant shift on the 2nd, and as a laundry attendant on the 3rd. In addition to scheduling, our scheduling works hand in hand with our timekeeping tools to provide a comprehensive solution to your supervisors, managers, as well as your schedulers. And one of the things that we do is, of course, we will compare what's going on with employee transactions, employee time, employee clocking in and out, with the schedule. And when we put these two together, we create the ability for supervisors to have easy to use timekeeping tools to make sure that Payroll Monday is no different from any other day of the week, and that we can really ease the administrative burden on supervisors when it comes to their timekeeping, payroll, administrative tasks. So again, the Supervisor Dashboard, a manager or supervisor can log in and see the status of employees' attendance. And again, the manager is going to be told about the employees they need to look at. They are going to highlight the issues that require manager intervention, and all of these items on the dashboard are drilled down. So you can see that there are 2 critical issues that are appearing on Wednesday. We can also see the red medallion up by the checkbox in the upper right-hand corner, which is the to-do list. The manager can open the to-do list, or they can click on the critical issues. In either case, it is going to tell the manager what the critical issues are, highlight, in this case, missing punches, and that the employees are under schedule. The supervisor needs only to review the time cards that have errors, so we can provide them with the opportunity to do management by exception rather than inspection. Managers do not need to review lengthy reports or scroll through all of their employees to see which time cards need their attention. Managers can add the missing punch with reason codes and optional notes if they care to, or they can simply acknowledge an exception and type in the missing punch. When they are addressing schedule exceptions, they can note whether they're excused or unexcused. And this feature does tie in with our incidents and points module, which is a subject of a different webinar, but it does quickly and succinctly to explain, allow you to assign point values to exceptions, unexcused tardies, absences, any type of exception an employee may have, and it will assign point values to it. And if an employee should accrue X number of points over Y number of days, we can indeed send notifications to managers, to the employee, to HR, and we can escalate that as additional points are accrued, so that we can, at point level A, issue a verbal warning, point level B, issue a written warning, and so on. Once the critical issues on Wednesdays are corrected, we'll note that they are cleared and that the dashboard is letting us know that there are no longer any items that need to be dealt with prior to today. Drill down on the dashboard for details in other areas are also available to all managers. We can see who's working now in our area of responsibility. Again, employee messages, leave requests, absences, all of these can be addressed through the dashboard and the to-do list. Once we create one of these through the news items or the drill downs, we can create lookups that are very easy to do. We can get, for example, as you can see here on the lower left, a list of 9 employees that do not have, whose time cards have not been approved yet. And with a single action here, we can approve all those time cards, or we can create a list to review those time cards individually. We can provide work progressions, which is a tool that allows us to notify managers when overtime is likely to happen. What we do is we can tell you what the employee's actual hours are, how many hours they're scheduled for over the remainder of the current overtime period, and how much overtime they will actually end up with unless their schedule is adjusted. The benefit to this, of course, is that we can make adjustments to schedules later this week to accommodate overtime that was worked earlier in the week to keep the employee under 40 hours if we want to. Once we have approved all time cards, completed all edits, and so on, I just want to briefly review the payroll HR experience for closing payroll in the time and attendance module. When we go in, the payroll monitor will tell us how many errors or critical issues that need to be corrected. These issues are defined by your organization, but typically they are only items that are going to prevent an employee from being paid correctly. A missing punch, unapproved hours, things of that nature. We can again click on that item, drill down, and get those items. We can see in this case, the only items that require attention are 3 employees with missing punches. We can then drill down to the first employee. We can see that our lookup list remains on the right-hand side of the screen. We can go to the missing punch. We can type the information in. Users have the option to either enter the time as in AM and PM or as 2300. Either are acceptable. Time can be displayed in military time, in AM and PM. Totals can be displayed in minutes or hundredths, and each individual users can define their own preferences in these areas. Once the time card has been corrected, the manager can approve the time card. The time card is then approved and locked. Once all 3 of these employees' information has been adjusted correctly, we can return to the payroll monitor. We can see that there are no critical issues. We can initiate the closed payroll for the current pay period. And then based on your payroll process, the hours would then either be pushed through to the payroll module via the API, or will be downloaded into a file for import as your payroll process requires. So at this point, time has been processed, and then the users would move on to the next payroll, and your payroll personnel would then be able to go into the payroll system and review each individual batch and make any changes necessary on the payroll side before payroll is processed, direct deposits are pushed, and payroll reports are generated. And we're, of course, available and welcome you to our future webinars where we will, of course, be reviewing the payroll module in detail. That completes our coverage of advanced scheduling, and I welcome questions. If anyone has any, please enter them in the chat. Our contact information is on the screen. We will be following up with all attendees and making a recording of this available to you for review and to share with your associates. And we look forward to having the opportunity to discuss this with you in more detail. A question did just come up asking about our compatibility with other payroll solutions. We do have integration with hundreds of payroll solutions, including all of the major service bureaus, in addition, of course, to the payroll solutions that we offer in-house. But we do offer connectivity for both employee demographic information as well as moving pay period totals from timekeeping into payroll for all of the major service bureaus. Thank you all very much. I'm going to conclude the meeting now, and I look forward to the opportunity to reviewing this with you all individually. Thanks so much.